Hello, me again. Just on a little walk through, I think it's a raspberry farm in Kent, big old raspberry farm in Kent. And it's lovely and mild, so I thought I'd get out, do a bit of videoing. So let's have a little look at that. Do 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 do. Bit of jazz music for you there. So yeah, so it's lovely, yep. I've got the day to myself. The wife's at work because it's Saturday. And the little devil child, she's with her grandparents for the day, so I've been given a bit of a break, which is quite nice, really. It's quite nice, yes. Yeah, you need it, don't you, really? So walkie times, walkies. Hey boy, hey boy. I don't know what all that was about. Anyway, so what I was going to talk about something. A topic, if you like, about times you've crashed your car, things like that. Hopefully when you haven't hurt somebody, but well, I was talking to some people at work. We were talking about times we've had pranks and silly things we've done, and it got me thinking about when I used to drive 7.5 ton lorries for a living, and the amount of times I damaged them, which was quite regular, really, to be honest. And so I thought I'd tell you a little story about that whilst on my walk, and then I'll show you some lovely pictures of the Kent countryside. Unfortunately, there's a roar of the motorway there, which is a little bit irritating, but you know, you can't have it all. You know, if you could, I'd be on a yacht somewhere lovely, but there we go. So yeah, so back in the day I used to work for the car business, and I got fed up with it, and I thought I'm just going to jack my job in and go, yeah, I've had enough. So I did, and in between time I thought I need to work, really need to work. So I thought, well, I can drive, and I've done driving jobs in the past, so I signed up to an agency, and I'll just do that until I find something, you know, that suits me and is a bit more regular income. So I signed up to an agency, and I said, look, I can drive all sorts on my driver licence, because I got my driver licence back in 1993, don't you know? So I can drive everything: helicopters, ships, battleships, tanks, caravans, you name it, I can drive it. And I said, look, you know, I'll do anything, really. The only thing I won't do is drive into London, and I've never driven a lorry before, so preferably vans, and preferably not London. So they said, yeah, great, we'll sign you up. Got all my details, and I get a phone call. Can you get down to this place for about 5:30 in the morning? And I was like, 5:30 in the morning? You having a laugh? All right, I need the money, so off I went. Turned up, 5:30 in the morning. Met up with the bloke. I said, right, come with me. Here's your run sheet. You're going straight into London, and here's your vehicle, 7.5 ton lorry. So there we go, straight into London in a 7.5 ton lorry. Never done it before, never driven a lorry before, don't really like driving around London, and off I went. And Christ, it was the worst thing, but anyway, I did it, got called back up. I said, look, I don't mind driving the lorry, but I'm not doing London, you know, give me something else. So I do the home counties. So I used to drive all the way from Watford, all the way down to Kent, all the way down Kent, Surrey. I used to do some mileage, some serious mileage. Oh, this camera's really wobbly, isn't it? It's making me sick. Sorry if it's wobbly. I'll try and stabilise it. I don't know why it might be the battery's going. Fuck, I didn't charge the battery. So I'm going to talk about a crash. First crash I remember was I was feeling a little bit under the weather the day I had the lorry, and done a delivery in Chislehurst, and those who live in Kent know Chislehurst, and you may know there's some width restrictions, and the width restrictions, you can't really fit anything bigger than the car through it, you know, and lo and behold, I decided that I was going to do a right, and there was a width restrictions in front of me, and I thought, I reckon I could get through that, you know. And so I started driving through it, and I couldn't get through it. The cab got stuck in the width restrictions. It's really windy, so I might have to. I'm gonna pause, and I'll be back in a minute when the wind's fucked off. Hello, back again. Sorry about that. It was really windy then. I was like, bloody hell. That's what I was saying. Yeah, right. So I pulled out. I thought, right, I'm gonna go through this, and heard a big scraping, crunching sound. I was like, oh mate, what have I done? And yeah, lo and behold, the cab went through, but I couldn't get the rear end through, so I had to reverse. Bear in mind, this is 8:30, school run time. Lots of very, very middle class, because it's quite posh up there. Mummy's getting rather irate with me, Salvador Dali. Yeah, pulled the lorry out and snapped the bumper into 2 pieces. They folded in on themselves, and I got out of the lorry and I had a look, and I thought, oh mate, this is not going well today, and I've still got a whole day's work ahead of me. So what I did is I got some blue rope out of the back of the lorry, and I'm just going for some kissing cakes. And yeah, I lashed it all up. I lashed the whole bumper up, so it looked almost good as new, and thought, hopefully the police won't tug me, and I'll crack on with my day's job. And I phoned up the yard and I said, look, I had a bit of an issue. I'm going through the lanes, and I've had to do a 3-point, and I've ripped the bumper off a hidden tree stump. All bullshit, but I thought, I can't tell him I tried to put a 7.5 ton lorry through something about as wide as a bike. So yeah, so that was the first one. They weren't very happy, and that was a bad day. The second one was even worse. So I was doing a delivery to a very posh set of houses, and I turned up. Plumber was there, Tyler was there, owner wasn't there, so I got out of the lorry and balled a load of tiles off the back, and it's quite busy today, lots of people. Yes, the second one turned up at a customer's house with a load of tiles on the back, 3.5 tons worth of tiles, bathroom gear, all that sort of stuff, and I thought I'll drop it off. You know, the plumber's here, Tyler's here, don't need the customer to be there. So we handballed it all off, get it all sorted. Job done. Jump back in the cab, do a bit of paperwork. While I'm doing some paperwork, the customer turned up in his lovely Mercedes and pulled up right behind the lorry, so close behind the lorry that I couldn't see that he was there, and I didn't hear him pull up either. And so I start the engine, ready to go off on my next job, set the tacho, you know, all that, and I can't go forward because it's a dead end. I can't do a 3-point turn because it's a lorry. So I have to go in reverse. Check my wing mirrors, nothing behind me. Stick it in reverse, start reversing, hear an almighty crunch. I think, what the fuck is that? Jump out the cab. There's a Mercedes with a giant cheese wedge shape scratched into the bumper. The bonnet. Yeah, big wedge. And 7.5 ton lorry parked on top of it, which was mine, yeah. And I'm thinking, oh mate, this is not good. And then the geezer comes out, and lo and behold, it's the bloke I've just delivered his tiles to. Yeah, so I had to report that back to the yard, and once again, they weren't very happy. But they still kept giving me work, so that's not bad. To be fair, all this didn't happen all in one lump, you know. It wasn't every day, it was just, this was spread over a year or two. But still, not ideal. I did have a minor prang on the M25 in a lorry. Hadn't put the air brake on properly enough, sitting in a traffic jam. Thought I'd read the paper because we weren't going anywhere. Then felt a little tiny bump, looked forward, and I'd nudged the car forward, and the air brake weren't on properly. So the lorry had rolled a bit. Yeah, I'm an idiot really, because until then, never really crashed a car. I've always been a good driver. I had a few speeding points, to be fair. None now, because I'm an old man, as you can tell. Old man, croaker. But yeah, I did have some prangs in that lorry. God. And I will say this. You get to know who's good at tipping and who isn't. And I tell you who's not good at tipping: rich people. People who've got lots of money. I'm not saying every rich person. Some of you out there are probably very lovely. And if you want to sponsor me, you're more than welcome. I don't mind. But I used to handball tiles off. When I say handball, for those of you who don't know, that is carry tiles off the back of a lorry to the person's property, up a long driveway or wherever they want it. And I've done 3.5 ton of tiles, 3.5 tons. And I mean, I know I look super muscular, and you know, I've got the physique of a goddess. God, not goddess. I haven't got boobs. Yeah, I'm not called Venus. I might be called a penis, but edit that. Cool. But yeah, handballed all of that. Terrible, really. And didn't get a drink, not a cup of tea. Not that I drink tea, but a glass of water. No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Went to an old bloke's house. Only handballed off about, I don't know, 10 packs of tiles. Took me all of 10 minutes. And he wouldn't let me leave without giving me 20 quid. I kept refusing, but he shoved it in my pocket. I said, no, well done, thanks a lot. No, that is how it should be, you know. I went to another house and I had to walk half a mile up a driveway because I couldn't fit the lorry down it. And I walked these tiles and a whole bathroom suite on a pallet truck all the way up there on a really hot sunny day, absolutely sweating. Didn't get anything. I said, oh, I've run out of drink. Any chance I could get a cold drink of you? They turned up with lukewarm tap water. Well done them. Well done. Thanks a lot. Thanks for showing your appreciation of the job that people do. So yeah, so that was that. Just on a side note, when I was working for this company, a rather posh company that sells bathrooms and tiles, begins with P and ends in Orsolanosa, I met my wife. That's how I met my wife. Yeah, it was. Yeah, she used to work at one of the depots in Kent, Crayford. It's no longer there. And I used to drop off tiles and stuff to their depot for their customers. And I got chatting to this rather lovely lady with blonde hair. And she used to say, you know, go upstairs, make yourself a cup of coffee. And her desk was downstairs, and there was a balcony, set upstairs, a balcony, and a little kitchen. And I used to make a cup of coffee and then lean over while the kettle was boiling and have a good old chat. And I'm not going to lie to you, I used to lean over, have a good old chat, and also look down her lovely top. Yes, I used to look down her top and think, oh, I wouldn't mind getting to know this lady a bit better. And lo and behold, I did. And I got to marry her, and I had a 7.5-year-old child. She wasn't born 7.5 years, by the way. She was born a baby and then grew to be 7.5 years. But yeah, we made a little family. I know lately I've been moaning about it, and it is really stressful at the moment. The whole lockdown and family stuff, and working, and not really having lunch breaks that often, and coming home, and then all that sort of malarkey. But when all's said and done, when the good times are rolling, it is lovely to come home and have a small child run up to you and shout daddy, give you a big squeezy hug, and then your wife give you a squeezy hug, or have turned around and said, oh, I got you this when I was down the shops, and get your favourite drink or your favourite, you know, chocky bar or whatever. You can't go wrong with that, can you? A bit of love, it's great. So anyway, I'm talking to you this. Listen. Bush there, full of birds tweeting. It's nuts. Making a right old racket. Spring is in the air, yeah. Anyway, speak to you later. Bye.